Hi, I'm Dave Cut, and you're watching another Comic Chat. What up, guys? Back again today to talk about Groot, and I actually have him in the encyclopedia and in the anatomy book. So we'll start with the background before the breakdown. So, real name, Groot. His occupation is an adventurer. His base is always mobile. Height, variable. His weight is variable. His eyes are black. He doesn't have hair. And his first appearance was the Tales to Astonish, number 13 in November 1960. So yeah, that's like an old school Groot picture right there. So let's talk about his powers. Groot has superhuman durability and strength. He can regrow limbs or even his entire body from shoot and communicate with plants. So they have a small paragraph on him here. Groot is the last known member of an alien species once thought extinct, known as the Flora Colossi. Oh. He was exiled from his home and people for refusing to take part in their brutal treatment of other races. Groot eventually ended up in prison where he joined Star-Lord's prototype Guardians of the Galaxies to fight the second Annihilation Wave. He gave his life to stop the Phalanx, but Rocket Raccoon regrew him. He developed a strong bond with Rocket, who is one of the few creatures who could understand his language. After being destroyed and regrown by the cosmically powerful Gardener, others could now understand Groot. However, after further cycle of death and rebirth, he again evolved beyond spoken language, his vocabulary limited once more to a simple, I am Groot. Interesting. Yeah, I did not know that. And they got a young Groot there in the photo. But yeah, we always knew he had that bond with Rocket Raccoon, but I had not heard a story about the powerful gardener. Interesting. Okay, and then we have Groot in the anatomy book. So we can see Groot's limited speech is not common trait among his species. According to the Guardians, Groot could once engage in full conversations, but he lost the ability when regenerating from a seedling after sustaining heavy battle damage. This revived Groot suffered from a stiffened larynx that soon became completely inflexible, allowing him to emit only a few sounds that can be interpreted by human ears. The Guardians, however, claim to be able to decipher the nuances of Groot's vocabularization and understand the deeper meaning he is trying to convey. And then they also have a little paragraph on him too. So Groot's healing ability allows him to restore his form by growing replacement parts. Every piece of Groot contains his complete consciousness, including his memories. If a single splinter from his body is planted and properly nurtured, it will grow into a fully restored adult incarnation of Groot in weeks or months. It follows that multiple Groots can be grown simultaneously, with every copy possessing near identical personalities. Groot, however, appears to be unable to manipulate the composition of his clones through unknown means and has been observed creating aggressive iterations for combat deployment. Okay, so I didn't know he could make clones. That's kind of cool to see. Then we could see him as a little seedling going through his stages as a splintered remnant is planted. Then he moves up to leaves are sprouted and nutrients are absorbed, where he starts to form a little face. And then he finally, the familiar feature develops and mobility is regained, where we saw like little baby Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And then they break down a little bit more of his anatomy. Despite being made primarily of wood-like organic matter, Groot's body has shown a natural resistance to fire. So that's cool too. Even though he's a plant, he's resistant to fire. Um, Also, without the presence of a traditional organ such as like a brain, they're unable to determine how he talks with plants and communicates with plants, but he still does. And they even show his inner throat, his larynx. Yeah, Groot's larynx, which was hardened in an unorthodox configuration, has severely limited his speech patterns. Yeah. So that was some interesting stuff, some cool new fun facts about Groot. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Till next time, have a good one.